She stormed into the kitchen like a hurricane. I was sitting on the couch, halfway through a sandwich, when I heard her slam the cabinet door and yell my name. "You changed the milk?" Her voice cracked with fury, but beneath it, I heard something else. Shame, panic, maybe even fear. She was shaking, pale, her hands trembling as she dropped a half-cleaned blender into the sink with a loud clang. And before I could even stand up, she screamed, "I was on the toilet for 40 minutes. I drank your milk and now I'm sick. What the hell is wrong with you?" I looked at her, calmly, quietly, and I asked her the only question that mattered. "So, you have been stealing my food." She froze, and in that single breath, everything I suspected became the truth. This isn't just a story about food theft. It's not even about milk. This is a story about trust, gaslighting, and what happens when your boundaries are violated so many times that you stop asking for justice and start creating it. Let me take you back. There are 3 of us in this apartment. We split the rent. We split the bills. But groceries? That's a different deal. Everyone buys their own food. We write our names on the containers. And the unspoken agreement, hell, it was a spoken agreement, is this: you don't touch what isn't yours. Simple, clean, respectful. Except one of us didn't get the memo. His name is R. At first, I thought I was just miscounting. Maybe I'd had more of my leftovers than I remembered. Maybe I forgot that I finished the almond milk, but the pattern became too clear. I'd get home from work, open the fridge, and find my containers missing. My name, written clearly across the lid, gone. The almond milk, especially, became the smoking gun. I'd buy a full gallon, take 1 glass, maybe 2, and yet, 3, 4 days later, it was almost empty. I started keeping track, quietly. I marked the fill line with a Sharpie, took photos, and every time I came home I'd check. It kept going down. I confronted R, again and again. "Are you taking my food?" I'd ask, with as much calm as I could muster. He always denied it. "You're being paranoid," he said. "Why would I want your stuff?" Each time, I walked away feeling like I was the crazy one, like I was imagining things. He twisted the conversation so well that I'd end up apologizing. That's how good he was at lying. But the truth? It wasn't just frustrating. It was humiliating. It made me feel invisible, disrespected, and worst of all, powerless in my own home. The only person who believed me was my other roommate. We work early shifts in the same part of town, so we carpool. That meant we were always gone together in the mornings, and always came home to find R had already left. We started comparing notes, and the pieces fit. R didn't like his food. He liked ours, especially mine. And while he guarded his groceries like gold, he treated ours like a free-for-all. He'd come back from the store, march into the kitchen, and literally announce what was his. "Don't touch this. This is mine." The irony was nauseating. This went on for months, nearly a year. And finally, one day, I hit my limit. My almond milk was nearly empty, again. And I knew I hadn't touched it in days. So I made a decision. I went to the liquor store. Not just any store. The one a block away that sells groceries too. Milk, eggs, bread. I bought a gallon of regular dairy milk. Real cow's milk. The kind that my body could handle just fine. But ours couldn't. You see, ours lactose-intolerant. He talks about it constantly. Can't have pizza without pills. Avoids ice cream. Brags about how clean almond milk is. So I poured out the last of my almond milk, just a few inches left in the jug. Then I carefully refilled it with the real thing. I wiped the cap, put it back in the fridge, and waited. I wasn't planning to hurt him. I wasn't planning anything dramatic. I just wanted the truth to finally slap him in the face. And the next day, it did. We got back from work, and not 5 minutes after walking through the door, I heard the bathroom door slam. Then came the noise. Groaning, water running, toilet flushing. 40 minutes later, R came out, red-faced, furious, and shaking. That's when he screamed at me. That's when I asked him calmly, "So you have been stealing my milk?" And he lost it. He exploded, yelled about his stomach, his medical needs, how reckless and dangerous it was to switch the milk. He didn't even deny it. He admitted that he'd been using my stuff sometimes, not always, just sometimes, as if that made it better. But what really got me? He wasn't sorry. He wasn't ashamed. He was angrier that I switched milks than he was about being caught red-handed. I looked at him, speechless. I reminded him that I'd asked so many times, that I gave him a chance to own up, that I was tired of being lied to in my own home. And you know what he said? He said, "You went too far. Too far." As if I crossed the line by buying a product with my own money, putting it in my own fridge, and drinking exactly none of it. The best part? My other roommate backed me up, laughed even, said it was the first time R got exactly what he deserved. But of course, that didn't sit well with R. Apparently, he's now trying to convince my roommate to kick me out, making backroom plans, whispering behind closed doors. Little does he know, we're both already planning to leave. We're looking for a new apartment, just the two of us. We're done with the lies, the theft, and the emotional gymnastics. I told some friends about the situation, thinking they'd see how long this had been building. Most agreed with me, but a few? They raised their eyebrows. They said I went too far. That, switching the milk, even without tampering, even just buying a different kind, was a form of passive aggression, that it caused harm, that it made me the villain. And so now I sit here wondering, was it really too far? Was I wrong to stop asking for honesty and start creating consequences? Was I really the asshole for catching a thief in his own trap? So, am I the asshole? And now, a final word from your host at AITA Story Vault. There's a moment in every long fight where you stop asking for fairness and start demanding truth. Sometimes it takes discomfort to expose dishonesty. Sometimes a little shock is the only thing that wakes someone up. This story isn't just about milk. It's about dignity. It's about gaslighting. It's about the quiet, infuriating pain of knowing someone is hurting you and watching them smile while they do it. When you're backed into a corner for long enough, even the softest people build sharp edges. This wasn't revenge. This was revelation. But the question remains, where's the line between justice and cruelty? When does exposing a lie become an act of harm? We want to know what you think. Was the milk switch a masterstroke of justified karma or a step too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell us, what would you have done? And if you've ever been gaslit, stolen from, or pushed beyond your limit, know this: you are not alone. You are not crazy. And sometimes, the truth needs a little help getting to the surface. Thanks for listening. This has been AITA Story Vault, where every story has two sides, and sometimes only one bathroom.